Hello and welcome to our video documentation of Firewalk. I'm David Frisch. I'm in the room with my fellow designers Xiao Jin and Dennis Carr. This is a game that we were trying to explore the question of what happens when we strap trackers to our feet and design levels around that. We were really interested in trying to figure out how feet interactions would work in VR. And so rather than trying to build, using your hands and feet, we wanted to focus purely on feet. So we designed these series of vignettes that all surround feet interaction. So in this level, here I am with very dirty feet. And so I put them in the water. And oh man, they're all shiny and nice now. And so these are some of the smaller things that kind of feel good. And now I step into the fire. And so these are things that just kind of feel good in VR. This, just moving my feet around the water and really just getting a sense of place. And so each level is kind of designed around a different design element in terms of feet interaction. So let's move through these and explain a little bit more. So for this one, we were just kind of wanting to explore the idea of just creating these kinds of shapes and drawing things with your feet in VR. Just almost like coordinated, choreographed movement. And this is something that is just simple, but also provides a really nice sense of space. You see we're kind of in this clouded area right now. Nice lines in the sky, maybe we're on Halo. And so we walk into the fire and move on to our next level. And here we are in a strange dark room, and this is one level where we're trying some new stuff. So you see the animal is attached to my feet, so we liked the idea of having the players have to lift up their legs and kind of balance a bit to get that kind of that sense of presence in the game, and have the player do things with their body they might not normally do otherwise. But this is also one of the areas where we get a sense of where purely feet interactions can not work not work in the exact same way as typical hand interactions work, mainly because when you're using your hands in VR, as you know, you have a lot of the tactile feedback. You're doing things with your hands that you're used to doing, so everything feels very natural. Whereas this, it feels very unnatural. And so we were trying to explore that awkwardness, and I think we really honed in on it. So, and please, team members, if you want to chime in at any point, feel free. So this is a level where we wanted to have the player walk very softly and slowly. We thought that was going to be an interesting interaction because everything in games is usually very fast-paced, but now all of a sudden we're using our body. And so the idea of going very softly in order to not wake up... Oh, and if you wake up this guy, he gets very angry at you in our little weird temple of flesh. Oh, okay. So I have to be still again. Wait for him to go. We just kind of slow everything down. And to me, this is always a really interesting and fun interaction. Almost like a red light, green light in video games. Okay, just gonna get into here. Oh. Created a variety. Yeah, and the other thing that you can see right here is I'm having to hold the tether, and this was just something that we've kind of realized from the beginning was that the just with the current technology, the HMD, people want to look down, they want to see their feet if you're putting it in VR, but at the same time that can be a bit uncomfortable, and with the tether, it wraps around your feet, and because of the large scale room, that gets to be an issue. Hopefully, as things go on, we can get some tetherless HMDs going on. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's a really interesting observation, um, and I feel like it's because we're forced to like really think about our feet and really think about walking, and so that all of a sudden, because we're forced to think about walking, we're forced to think about our feet. We're also forced to kind of look at the obstacles in our paths. So here we are in our final graveyard, where I just wanted to explore more, just like kicking some objects. So we've got these skulls. We're gonna bury them. Yeah. Yeah, you get the pitch, yaw, and roll of your feet when you're moving them around, whereas before they were strapped to your shin, so you could really only get this kind of movement. Whereas like now, it feels really nice looking down and really seeing my feet move the way I expect them to move. So I think that definitely the trackers add a lot of movement and versatility to what we can do with these. Yeah, so when I like tap my feet, it feels really good. And so I think that I think we answered a lot of our questions that we were initially hoping to set out. Moving forward with this, I think that these work as a good series of vignettes and prototypes of what different feed interactions can look like. I think one of the things that I would take away from this is that purely feet-based interactions are definitely interesting, but I definitely would still want hand interactions with my feet interactions to add more presence to these VR games. So I think that as people move forward, the integration of both hands and feet are going to be really where things start to get interesting and really cool design concepts can come into play. And in terms of just overarching VR thought, um, feet work. uh, Anybody who doesn't want to add some feet into VR, I would question them. Um, Absolutely. Let's see, is there anything else that we want to add? Yeah, I think so too. I hope you enjoyed watching our weird exploration into the world of feet. Um, and, oh, bye.